Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Cooking and Crafting with Kathy. I'm Kathy and welcome in. Remember I told you that I was going to show y'all how to make these little ribbon holders. Here's one on one of our new ribbons, and it is these just work so well, and I figured out a way. The demonstrator that I saw do this had calculations for it. I don't know about you, but I prefer something that I can just eyeball and make it work, and this worked so well. And all you do is you just pull the ribbon, pull that around and bring out the amount of ribbon you want, and then you just cut off ever how big a piece you need. You can tuck it if you want to. I had this one tucked. You can tuck it under, take your pick tool or whatever and just tuck it back under there like that, and you can see you can roll this all over your desk and you can drop it or whatever. Your ribbon is not going to come loose. Now you will need a special little tool, or you could cut it a square out with with your paper snips if you're that good with cutting. But this little tool right here, and I'll have it linked below, you can pick this up on Amazon, and all it does is it cuts I'm going to take a piece of notebook paper just to show you. It cuts that little slit, and I'm going to put this in, and it has a gauge right here so you can bring this up or down, but it actually on the 0 is where it will actually cut. You can see the piece come down in there. When I do that, it comes down and cuts. So let me show you. If we put it on here like this and squeeze it, it's going to make this little piece like this. And I believe that this piece, let me get my ruler and I'll tell you, this opening is about 1/2 inch, right about 1/2 inch. So I have a piece of cardstock here, and this is just a scrap, but I did measure it, and it is 6 inches wide, and this one is only like 2.5. It's actually 6 inches long, 2.5 inches wide, but it's a strip, and I have done quite a few of these, and you can see it doesn't matter whether your ribbon is wide or narrow, but you're going to want your piece to be wide enough, or not too wide, to get in between your spools. I found 1/2 inch works pretty good for all of the ones I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece that is 6 by 1.5, and then I'm going to grab a roll of ribbon. This one's probably retired. I just went and grabbed some of my ribbons, and I'm going to take this, and I want to lay this over. I'm going to bring this down so it's right about halfway my ribbon, my spool, and then I'm going to make a little bend right there, and then I'm going to make another little bend right there. That's going to be where we're going to need to put our little hole in. So when you get ready to do this, you're going to come under here, and you're going to want to try to get that in between those two lines. Now the best way to do that I found is to take this piece to the back side and take a pencil. Just take a pencil and draw yourself a little line here and here. That kind of gives you an idea of where you're going to be cutting your piece at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to try to even it between my 0. See, my 0's right there where that first line is, and I'm looking at the other side, and I want to try to get them as even as I can, and I'm just going to punch. Now there's my piece. When I turn it over, it's going to look like this. So now what we want to do is put that back on top of your ribbon, just like that, and we're going to feed this piece through our spool. Just feed it right through the spool like that, and when you bring it up, you're going to want it taut. And when I say taunt, you're going to want it to come up over top of that raw edge that you have right here. So we're not going to need that big of a piece, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it back about to there. That's going to give me my cut place. So I'm going to take my snips and just cut this off. Yeah, you're wasting a little bit, but this was a scrap anyway, so it's okay. So I'm going to take my ribbon now and feed it. Make sure you get it wrapped onto your spool. You're going to love this. Once you see how easy this is, you're going to be sitting and cutting these little strips and wrapping all of your ribbons. And it makes no difference whether you're using a Stampin' Up! Ribbon or any ribbon. This will work. Now I got it fed through my spool, and this piece is going to go back through here. And all we're going to do, you can do this with glue, or you can do it with your sticky tape. What I like to do is come up under here and mash that piece so that it's nice, and you can even take your bone folder and fold these to make them a little more crisp. You don't have to. As you can see, you can do a finger fold and it works just as good. Now let's bring this back around. And now let's feed that through. Just like that. Come back up. And you might need your scissors, or take your pick tool or something just to help you pull that back through. Let me get my top off of that, and that will pop it through a lot easier. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of this, or right here on this little tab. So I'm going to take my glue gun, my glue press, and I am going to put just a tiny bit of glue right there. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Fold that over and press it down. I'm going to hold it just for a minute, just to make sure that's adhered. You don't want it to glue to your spool. You want this to be free moving so that you can move it around like this. And whichever way you move it, this will tighten it up, and pushing it to the right will tighten it up so you can get closer to the end. Or you can push it back like this to loosen your ribbon. So if you need a piece of ribbon, you can just very easily bring it back, pull your ribbon down, cut your piece of ribbon, and then you're good to go. And if you pull it too far, no big deal. Just bring it back down to here. And like I said, you can take your pick tool and you can push that back up underneath there like that, where you don't have a raw edge hanging. That will keep it from fraying. Okay, we're going to do another one because I want to make sure you do get this. This was a Christmas ribbon, and I love this one. You can see I used quite a bit of it, but I still have some left. And a lot of times I don't get rid of my ribbons because these ribbons can be used for a variety of things. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start out with a 1/2 of an inch, one 1/2 inch by 6, and I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to lay this through here, and I'm going to bend that up so that it comes up about to there, and then I want to bend this one over till it comes down to about here, and then I'm going to just fold that up like that. Now that right there gives me my cut line, so I'm going to take it out and I'm going to cut this end off. This is going to be my end. Let's move the trimmer out of the way. This right here is going to be my end that is going to wrap up right here. See, that's the part that we're going to need to punch our little slit in. So I'm going to press that really good right there. Then I'm going to take it off. Now you can also put this in your scoreboard if you want. It's not necessary though. Just come in with your bone folder and crisp those edges like that. like that, like this, and like that. That gives you nice sharp edges all the way around. Basically, you are making a box. It ends up being just a little box like that. See how simple that is? But because we're gonna actually cut right here, we're gonna take this little item, line up our hole. I like doing the 1/2 inch because this is like a 1/2 inch and it fits in there perfectly. You're going to come over like halfway down, line that line up in the middle and punch. And if it's off a little bit, it's not going to matter. It's still going to hold your ribbon. So what we're going to do, we're going to feed this ribbon through here. We're going to feed this one through our hole in the middle of our ribbon, like that. We're going to bring that one up on the other side of your ribbon and bring this one down over top of it. We're going to put some glue right there at the top of the piece that's flat on your ribbon spool, and then we're just going to put that over top of it and hold it until it adheres. And I use art glitter glue. You can use whatever glue that you like. It's my glue of preference. And yes, even though Stampin' Up! Sells Tombow, I prefer my art glitter glue. So that's what I use. Now you notice it came out, this is a slick ribbon. So all you have to do is feed it back under like this. And if you hold your thumbnail right there, it will usually go right back in where you can grab the edge. But when you have a ribbon that's like this, I would suggest to pull out a good little amount and use your pencil or take your pick tool or something to help you kind of get that back up underneath there. That is in, it's not going anywhere, and you have made your ribbon where it will not unravel. Now here's one that is on a wide spool. Now this one is probably going to take, but we notice we still have a small hole, so we are going to probably need a longer piece of cardstock because this needs to wrap all the way around, and you can see that's not going to work. So we're going to need a piece that's probably maybe 8. Let's see how this one does. This one's 8 inches, so let's cut a piece off that is a 1/2 inch. We're still going with that 1/2 inch. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We are going to feed it through, bring it up to about like that. We are going to bring this one over and bring that down like so. And see how we have a much wider piece here now. See how much wider that piece is than this piece? See what I mean? But we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to cut our little slit right here, and you can actually do it from the spool if you want, but you just got to make sure you get that in there so you can see where you're punching. Punch right in the middle, and now all we have to do is glue this down. And let's see if we need to cut any of the excess off. We are going to come around here. I'm going to feed this through my little opening. There's my opening right there. And let's bring that back over to here. That's going to come back through here, and we are going to have some excess. So I'm going to cut this piece about like that. And then this piece I'm going to glue up over top of it, just like that. Now I'm going to put glue right down here on the end of this. I should have cut it a little bit shorter right here. It's okay, we can always trim it. And now you have this ribbon that is in a nice thing that's going to hold this as well. And now this is more like a burlap type ribbon, and it does fray a little bit. So remember to just tuck this back like that. And you don't have to ever worry about that ribbon coming loose. You can roll your ribbons around. They're easy to pull off. You just push this to your left and pull your ribbon out to the length that you need. It is such a keen idea, and I have to commend the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I will link her channel below here. And I can't remember her name. I think it was Christina. Creating with Christina. I will look it up and make sure I link it. But she had measurements, and she had a tutorial that you had to be a part of her email group to get, and this was an older video, so I didn't think by signing up for it I would be able to get it. So I just wanted to, I thought it was such a neat idea. I wanted to show everybody an easy way to do this and be able to keep all of your ribbons nice and together and so easy to use. Look at all of these ribbons, and all of them are now where they're not going to unravel. I don't have to put a pin in it. I don't have to use a clip to try to hold them together. They're not going anywhere, and I can pull out exactly what I need when I need it. I hope that this little trick will help you in your crafting, and I hope that's something you can use. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you try this and if it works for you. And don't forget, I am going to link this in the video, so if you need to pick up one of these, I think they're less than $15. It's just a great little tool to have, and you know, you always need a little tab punch like that. If you don't want to purchase a tab, you could use a small hole punch, something like this. You could make like 2 or 3 of those across, and it would work as well. You could even do with a bigger one. This is a 3/8, this is a 1/4. It would still be an investment unless you already have one, but you could probably do that. Or if you wanted to draw a little place on your cardboard or your cardstock and draw a square or a rectangle and use your snips to cut it out, you could do that as well. So many ways that you could do this that will make it super easy, so much fun, and a great way to store your ribbon. Thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I love you guys so much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to my video once again. And I did promise y'all a pot pie recipe. I have not forgotten. I've recorded it on my new phone. My new phone has not been hooked up to my computer, so I have not been able to transfer it into my software program so that I can edit it and get it up to you, and I have to do a voiceover, so therefore I know I'm going to need to have it on my my editing software. So anyway, I will, if I don't get that to you right away, it is coming, even if I have to re-record it when I make another homemade chicken pot pie, and they are so good. Talk to you guys later. As I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, keep on crafting and know that you're loved. Bye-bye.